Good evening and welcome to the Select Board and Board of Health meeting for September 29th, 2025, being held in the Townhouse Auditorium. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So the cameras came on the ground.
Oh, tonight. You love us.
You keep telling yourself that, Don. So this meeting is being held in the Townhouse Auditorium. We're also broadcasting over Zoom and recording for the millions of fans that like to watch it in the weeks following, many of which I see here. Is there anyone else recording the meeting besides Kristen Rivers from the Hampden Wareham Times? Hello, Kristen. And that's it. Okay. So first order of business, we have minutes from September 15th. Select Board member Davenport wasn't here that day. Neither was Brian. Eric and I handled it well. I think the meeting took 15 minutes, right? Without them?
It was a quick one.
Yeah, it was a quick one. Any comment, Select Board member Eric?
No comment, they look good to me. Make a motion to approve minutes
I'll
from,
second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
The meeting of September 22nd, last week.
Wow, what a rapid day, huh?
Yeah. And new auto license, gentleman came in and talked about his motorcycle business, going to be on Main Street in the old hardware store. Again, reviewing the special town meeting warrant. That will be a focus of our meetings, obviously for the foreseeable future until the special town meeting. We voted to close the warrant. The administrator came up with a surplus property policy, and we talked about obviously updating, the new town hall and where we stand with that. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
I'm sorry. Approve minutes from 22nd, oh, sorry.
Second. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
One down.
Thank you. A motion to adjourn, Don? Is that what you said? So first on the agenda, we have the fire department. They have a couple of new candidates to present. Chief Pullen. Want a cookie yet? All right.
We have a new cadet program leader in our department. It is John Cadbury. He's taken over the cadet program because previously it was done by Nicholas Bertrand. He has graciously accepted the role, and I'm going to turn it over to him. He's actually interviewed these two gentlemen, new cadets from Minnetonka High School, and I'll let him talk about them briefly.
So, as Chief said, I took over the program, interviewed Stone and Anthony Powers, both from Minnetonka, both juniors, want to pursue and join our cadet program, making that a total of 4 cadets now. They're very interested, want to pursue fire science for Anthony, and Stone wants to get into helping people and pursuing it.
Excellent. So we said we presently have 2 cadets. Did you tell me, Ed, that one cadet got taken by another town?
Logan Howard left. His parents moved to Florida. His father accepted another job.
Okay.
So honestly, it's kind of a long commute.
Yeah, it's a heck of a commute.
They didn't leave him behind.
Cars over.
Home alone. Okay.
Okay.
So congratulations on your new role. I'm sure you'll do fine. Tell us about the cadets.
So, like I said, you have Anthony Powers, if you could stand up, from Minnetonka, 16, wants to go to school for fire science, join the program, or look to join the program. And then you have Stone, also a junior at Minnetonka, wants to get into the fire program and pursue it and help people in the community.
Excellent. Thank you both. So, great.
There's no active fire. They won't be involved in any of that. They'll just be exploring the equipment in our operations and be training alongside of us.
Excellent.
Be able to assist us in some emergency capacities, but
Okay.
not, obviously not fire.
All right, how often do they attend meetings? Are they expected to come weekly to the training as well? Okay.
Yeah. We're going to start them slightly earlier than the other members, so that you can have one-on-one time with John and some other firefighters on how to present the gear, get it out, get it on correctly, and do some easier tasks, catch them up.
Excellent. Cole or Anthony, do you want to say anything? You're good? Cole? Silent, boy, that's a hallmark of the fire department.
Time, right?
I'm not sure, I could ask their parents, like, did you expect them to say nothing? Yes, okay. Well, congratulations, both of you stepping up. Does the board have any questions for them? But I wish you luck with that.
No questions. I do have a question about one of the grades, but I'll let that go because it'll embarrass one of you.
I'll accept a motion.
So I'll move that the appoint of cadets under the leadership of John Cadger.
All right. Motion to Anthony Powers and Cole Stone to be cadets under the Hampden Volunteer Fire Department. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, congratulations. Thank you for stepping up, really. This is, it's a big thing for the community when we see the youth, and believe it or not, one time, we were all youth, and I'm not sure we would have done it back then, but we really appreciate you doing this. So thank you. And thank you to your parents, if you're all here, and like, this is a big step, and we're proud. You should be proud of your kids for doing that.
Absolutely.
Because we are. So thank you. All right. Chief, you got more?
Safety night out, the police department, obviously, I think the select board knows that we're not going to do it this year. We believe it's a great community event. The fire department would like to proceed in putting on the event. We might have to change the date to the 17th or 24th. We're going to try for the 17th. It's kind of close, but we have a lot to material or information to transfer from the police department to us. And but like I said, it's a great community event. A lot of people come out, a lot of people enjoy it. Just to engage with the public is huge, so we'd like to continue it.
And what day were you looking? I'm sorry,
The 17th or 24th. I guess we're just looking for permission from the board, one, to have it at TWB, and two, to have the ability to apply permits needed.
I can't see any reason why the board would be against that type of thing. I think based on what's happened before, and Don, you're chair of the Board of Health, we have typically requests for food trucks and stuff like that. So that might take a little more time getting that out, and maybe go for the 24th, again, to give enough time for, the last event had 3 or 4 food trucks on, perhaps.
Yeah.
Just these other community people that want to participate, for instance, even the Board of Health, the senior center as well, to have a table, they need more time to get that together.
Yeah, they were giving flu shots out then too, I think.
Yeah, they were big wires.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
You think Bay State have a big presence there that want to come?
I can ask.
All right.
Bring an MRI machine.
Free MRIs.
Linear accelerator.
Okay, great, thanks. All right, chief, good call. We're good for the 24th then.
All right, thank you.
And now we have the Fire Department Building Committee. Welcome, chief.
How you doing? Thanks for having me. Mark, I'll bring Mark, the chairman of the building committee, down. I can start first. Greg Rivas has been on the building committee. As you know, he stepped down as a select person last year, and Eric very graciously ran and solidified his spot. But we would like to replace Greg Rivas with, he's been an alternate member for the building committee, Eric Madison. He's retired Long Meadow fire chief. He's interested, hasn't ran away from me every time I've asked him questions. So we'd like to bring him aboard if, make the.
All right, do you have alternates? I mean, would Craig step down to be basically an alternate at that point? So you're swapping people, basically? Okay.
Craig still wanted to be involved, but as an alternative, Eric could be the 5th called
I know.
a full member.
And remember Eric, from East Long Meadow as well, good resume and certainly a good background in this, and I think it'd be a welcome addition to, with his expertise.
Absolutely.
We prepared a 54-page questionnaire for Eric. True, false is most of it. Okay.
I wasn't aware that running away from the chief was an option, no.
Any questions? I think we're good with that, so I'm gonna make a motion to basically, not demote, assign Craig Revest as an alternate member of the Fire Department Building Committee, and assign Eric Metzen as a full-time member of the Building Committee.
You
I
gonna,
second.
He's making the motion.
No, not making,
he's making a motion?
Yeah.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Congratulations. You'll get the T-shirt, the badge, everything later.
After the questionnaire.
After the questionnaire, scoring. So what's happening with the, give us a quick overview?
Sure. So we, as you guys may or may not be aware, we got 5 respondents back for the OPM, 5 firms we found them back. Committee met. Of those 5, we basically narrowed it down to, say, 3. Then we spent some time, went through the, the RFQ, the qualifications, ranked the 3 firms, and then we came up from that with one firm that rose to the top for us, and that firm is CMS out of Marlborough, Mass, the firm that we felt that we want to bring forward and hire as the OPM.
And the funding for that, for the OPM part, is already in the number?
Yes,
Okay.
the soft cost number of the project, the OPM comes out of that number, along with other things. But yeah, that OPM fee is built into the soft cost, which is part of the project.
All right, the
Their
RFQ,
Percentage, it's gonna be a negotiated contract, so that was the way the RFQ was written.
Do they get paid for the total cost of the project? What I'm asking is if the contingency fees, let's say we have to go into the contingency fees and we spend those, does he get a percentage of that too?
Now, it's typically the construction of the project.
Because there'd be no incentive for them to keep the contingency fees down if they were getting a percentage of it.
Correct. So correct, yeah. So
I'm sure that'll be written into the contract as well.
And who gets to decide on the contingency fees? Like, for instance, they say, gee, we found this, we're gonna need an extra $100,000. Does the Selectboard board on that, or does he decide, or they decide, or she decide, or?
again, part of the whole project is we've got a number to work with, so, there is some contingency already built into the project. But again, the whole, we've got that.
I just always think if there's a contingency, that's where it's gonna go.
Atypically, that comes involved when we get to a semi-impasse. The OPM works for you and us.
Allegedly.
And their job is to make sure that we don't have change orders and we don't go into the contingency. So they're gonna look at the design and any issues before and kind of double check them, the electrical, the HVAC, all of the components.
And they do their own
And do
independent
value
estimate.
engineering before we put it on the street.
Correct,
They do an independent estimate.
correct, yep, it's part of their RFQ.
What is their, do you know offhand what their success rate is on getting it in on budget or under budget and on time?
They probably had the highest success rate, that was part of the RFQ in there, of firms coming on budget. They probably had the highest on time, on budget. This firm had probably the most experience in municipal projects. Fire stations were one, which was of interest to us, projects that were equal size and scope. So yeah, that basically is the next step, is for us to negotiate with them the fee, and the actual contract, the services that they'll provide. At minimum, it would be what's in the RFQ, but then
I think originally on one of your estimates, you gave, it was a 7% fee.
it's typically lower than that. The industry standard is lower than that.
Like 2?
They pay us? Nice.
Yeah.
What's the question on the RFQ?
That relates to hiring of the company to do the final design.
Okay.
So before we can do that, we need to hire the OPM.
Because the OPM will kind of.
No, but I meant what was it, the advertising part you mentioned before, there was a question for?
The original advertising 2-3 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, we think there was a procedural flaw in that. So it doesn't allow us to extend the contract with the existing architect.
Existing architect, so.
Very specific in designer projects that it's in the correct newspapers and state publications, and it wasn't.
Okay. All right, but it doesn't affect us at this point, because we're doing this.
Different than the OPM.
It's
Different than the OPM.
It will be probably the first thing the OPM will need to be working on with us. One of the first tasks is to get that final designer on board. So we are gonna have to do another RFQ for the designer, the final designer.
All right, so,
And
Brian,
that's a delay, right? It's a-
Yes, that is a delay. That is a delay that we didn't anticipate. Correct.
all right, so Brian, we need a motion to authorize the hiring of CMS, basically the OPM.
But, yeah, to enter into contract negotiations with CMS. If they're not successful with CMS, is there a second
Yes.
company that you're comfortable recommending, or do you
Yes,
want to
we
go
do.
back to the board at that point?
No, we do. We ranked them 1, 2, 3, so with the number 2, our number 2 selection, we would be comfortable.
And that's,
If the negotiations are not successful with CMS.
okay, well, we handle that now. Who was the second one?
Colliers.
Colliers.
Colliers,
Okay,
yep.
all right. Entertain a motion to authorize the building committee with the town administrator or by yourself? With the town administrator, enter in negotiations with CMS for a contract as OPM. Failing agreeing to a contract, they can go to negotiations with Colliers at that point.
So move.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Hopefully, we don't need the name of the third place company.
Right.
Okay. We don't want to go that far.
We don't.
So, what time, ballpark, Brian, you think it's take a couple weeks, or
We should.
you don't know?
Reach out to them immediately, let them know, get them on board, and I can work
We
with them.
can, every day is important. If we can get it in by Thursday of this week, then we can be publicized next Wednesday. We cut that process.
No, but I meant the negotiation part. I mean, this, like you say, it's pretty cut and dried. It's fairly,
Right.
it shouldn't take a heck of a lot.
Should not take long.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
And we could put it on the next agenda, and if we're ready, we're ready. If not, then.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there a need for something like this to be reviewed by town council, or?
Depending on the complexity of the agreement, yes.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Is there anything else, chief? Are you going to stay here the whole meeting?
Sounds good. What?
Any good news?
It's all good news.
How about,
Abatement's done?
How's that truck?
how's the truck?
The floor has been abated, that's all set, that has been completed. And I had an email a couple weeks ago that the truck is pushed one more month, December,
This year?
this year.
Be
Okay.
ready for Christmas.
How about
Santa, all right?
Murphy and Nerfus transition?
We're just waiting for them to build the software and install. And
Is there a drop dead date for that transfer, is it, for that update? It has to be done by such and such?
They want it done by January, but they want it installed either on like October 1st, November 1st, first of the month.
First of the month, type of thing.
Done by January 1st.
Okay, but we're waiting on them,
Waiting on our software company.
yeah.
Are those real fire hydrants on Glendale Road?
They're real fire hydrants, you can touch them, but you cannot use them for fire suppression.
They're only for purging the line?
Take, suck that tank dry, how quickly? 5 seconds.
Oh, well, I thought there was a fake one in front of Lenny's house too, right?
Yeah, he did have a
He did have a fake
one.
one, yeah. Right?
But he stole that from Springfield. I mean, he borrowed it
No,
from
exactly.
Springfield.
I think it was his retirement gift, he told me.
Instead of a lunch, you got a hydrant.
Yeah. Got a lot of people calling about that, hey, how come that guy has a hydrant, we don't?
Put a hydrant out there if they want.
Right, exactly.
We can tell you what.
It checks that box off, is there a hydrant
Yeah.
by your house?
That's true, they never asked the question, is there a working hydrant, it's just, is there a hydrant, right? Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
John, would it be out of order for me to ask a question before he leaves?
She wants a hydrant.
Hydrant for everyone.
Oh, thank you,
So
Oprah.
you mentioned 1024 for an event, and I couldn't hear, you were talking so softly, I couldn't hear what it was all about.
It's a public safety night out,
Oh, good. Yes,
so that would be the date for that.
and that would be October 24th.
Yeah.
Okay,
The usual, behind Thornton Burgess, yep,
Yep.
yep.
Thornton Burgess, right, okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And that dovetails right into, we have the Friends of the Hampden Senior Citizens here.
Yeah, you do.
So, Ted,
Yes.
Bobby,
Don't, I'm Ted.
Claudia?
Executive board member of the Friends of the Hampden Senior Center. And we would like to make a donation to the infrastructure of a town building, i.e. the senior center, i.e. the restroom upgrades. As you know, past 6 years or so, wherever we started on the supposed expansion of the senior center, there have been some naysayers. This being on the back of our mind when the subject came up that we were going to be a little bit short on the bathroom upgrades on money, and they were looking for us to do it, we hired, contracted, whatever the word you want to use, with Fitzgerald Law out of East Long Meadow. We had them go through our bylaws, our state articles of organization, our attorney general papers that we have to do, and the state statutes, and they deemed that we can make the donation to the town. Up to now, we bought TV sets, we bought refrigerators, we bought furniture, we paid for speakers, we paid for all kinds of things, but not brick and mortar. And that was a sticking point. If anybody cares to read it, there's a little summation.
Could you have bought, for instance, the bathroom renovations include, new partitions, toilets, urinals. Could you have bought those parts, but not the labor, basically? You couldn't have?
Because once we paid for a toilet, which gets installed,
They're incorporated into the,
if you decided to move the senior center to Thornton Burgess, that toilet's not gonna move. It's gonna
Right.
stay there. That means you sell the building, we've lost our investment.
so it's loose stuff.
It's stuff that's attached. If we buy a TV and you moved us to Thornton.
That's, before it was
We can take
loose
the
stuff.
TV
you
with
could
us.
have, right, yeah, okay.
That's the big sticking point.
Sure.
And that's why we got a legal opinion. So we have been cleared to make the donation.
Okay. Will that donation then, are you making the donation to the town for the purpose of using it for the
making it-
bathroom upgrades at the Hampden Senior Center?
Yes.
Okay.
There is a letter, and you don't have legal here, so I don't know if you're gonna wanna sign it. The intent was to have it signed tonight. The letter is drawn up by legal and me together. So if you wanna scan this. It basically says, the Friends, on the behalf of the Friends of the Senior Center, hereafter called the Friends, we are pleased to provide a donation of $17,100 to the Town of Hampden, Mass, hereafter called the town. Contribution is made to support the town's work for the sole purpose of the renovations of the restrooms at the Hampden Senior Center, 104 Allen Street, Hampden, Mass. We are grateful for the opportunity to partner with the town to support the, I ain't gonna read all that. The above said amount is to be used only for the intended project. These are the qualifications. The project is canceled for any reason. If there's any unexpended funds, the funds must be returned to the Friends. If additional funds are needed, it would be an additional request which would have to be renegotiated. Additionally, a general accounting of the expenditure of said funds is appreciated. Keep this for your records, et cetera, et cetera. So then we go on to explain who we are. If additional documentation is needed, please don't hesitate to contact us. The Friends is a 501c3 nonprofit corporation operating under Mass General Laws 180. Signed, we are approved by the federal government, part number, Commonwealth of Massachusetts Attorney General's office number. The legality of the Friends to donate to a town infrastructure project has been researched by the firm of Fitzgerald Law, East Long Meadow, and is so deemed legal. The donation amount was approved by the Friends Board of Directors on September 23rd, 2025, and is authorized the undersigned me to provide this letter and to release the donated funds to the town. I have the check here. If you concur and don't need legal and sign, I'll give you the check today. If you need legal to review I'll have to give you a check after the reviews.
Don't see an issue. Just a quick recap for those. So originally, when we looked at senior center renovations last year, there was a budget for the bathroom renovations at $15,000. By the time it went out to get some quotes, we had 3 quotes, 2, I think, around 80-something thousand, and 1 at 47. The 47 obviously was the lowest. Becky went out and got a grant from the state for an additional $15,000 going on top of the appropriate $15,000. The Friends are gracious enough to make up the difference, and I've heard there's actually another citizen who has kicked in funds as well, and I think the town is extremely grateful for that person.
The 17-1, only 14-1 is actually coming out of our general coffers. We had a very generous $5,000 donation.
Correct, and is it
So
appropriate?
now I have another,
is it-
another subgroup to keep track of in case.
Okay, is it
anybody else thinks
appropriate
of
to
it.
say who kicked in that money?
I'm sorry?
Is it appropriate to say who donated that money?
If you'd like.
I'd like to recognize John Matthews for making that donation.
We normally do not. It is public record, but we normally don't, but
Well, that's why I wanted to make sure it was
if
okay
he's
with you.
fine with it, that's fine.
Okay, but I think we want to thank the Friends as well for stepping up. And we've had that conversation. I mean, you know, it's a town building,
Yes.
you know, but sometimes you come up with a pencil estimate and you find out that's why pencils come with erasers.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't even close, and we need this done, and we need it done now. And thank you for getting us,
You know, we've
getting us to the finish line with this,
We've
everybody
always
here.
supported this. That's why we're here. That's why we're incorporated.
Right.
It just got to that sticky point of, it's now not something, it's now.
Well, it's very appreciated. Everybody getting us, like I said, to the finish line. Don, Brian, I don't know if you looked at that. Do you see any issue with it?
Not if it's for a stated purpose, no.
No, okay, so I'll entertain a motion to
There's
have.
2 copies, sign them both. I get
Okay,
one,
why don't
you
we
get one.
entertain a motion to have the town administrator sign on behalf of the town?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, so Brian will
If he
sign it.
signs them, then I'll hand them the check.
Can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
We just want everybody to know how hard we work for that money. The seniors, we have a great group of people, volunteers that really help us, and it's a lot of hard work.
Thank you.
But this is something we feel very strongly about. So we have a lot of people that are not in the best of shape that come there, and the bathroom renovation is gonna make a big difference for them. So this
And well, you run some great programs.
Yeah.
Sell some calendars.
word, yes, thank you. Yes.
Got some great prizes,
Sale.
great prizes on there, I know.
Pie, the pie sale.
Pie sales coming, there's a lot of stuff.
Boy, there you are again. Boy, I tell you, Don loves being chair of the Board of Health. He signs every food permit, he samples everything. It's incredible. All right.
And thank you, Ted, he did an awful lot of work
Thank you.
getting us to this point, because we.
2 and 2 is
wanted
4 I can handle, doing all this illegal stuff.
to
I have to be, if anybody from Fitzgerald, they were fabulous, absolutely fabulous, working with me.
No, I know John Drost, he's a good guy.
He's a good man. John specifically, yes.
It
Good man.
wasn't a mention, it wasn't the reason we had them do this wasn't because we didn't support it. We just wanted to make sure that everything,
right.
the Ts were crossed, the Is were dotted,
Exactly,
and no
you
one
know-
can come back now and.
That's why I wanted you all to come in. You should be recognized, you should be recognized for this, and there's no delay, and we can move on with this quickly.
One
That's the
back.
key part.
That's my question.
Yes.
Will the notification go out to the contract?
That's real.
That they come?
Made out to you.
I don't know if that's Gary doing that or Brian doing that, but we'll check right into that, whether it was, Brian,
Yes?
would that be you or Gary notifying the bidder, which I think we
I'll contact
voted to
them.
award that last week
We did,
anyhow.
we did.
Yeah,
I'll contact them in the morning.
okay,
Yes,
great.
that was, we did.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you for your efforts.
Great.
Snappies is
Right
still
on
open,
time.
you can-
I'm sorry?
Snappies is still open, you get another ice cream.
No, hey, we cheated once.
No, have a cookie, come on, before you, come on, they're fresh from town.
Well, I can, I just can't remember.
I took a picture and sent it to your
That's why-
doctor.
Here, take one off camera, she'll never see it.
My daughter will go review it later and yell.
He's bringing it to a friend.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm not sure.
Any questions, my email's there.
Okay,
Got it.
thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are they logging in, or are we just talking about this?
What?
He's on.
He's on?
Yes, okay, great.
Russ?
I don't see them.
Yeah, we gotta change our view.
I see him.
Can you change it to gallery view first?
View. Gallery.
There you go.
There's not a lot to look at.
There he is.
Hey, Russ.
There he is.
How you doing?
Good,
Thanks
thanks.
for tonight. I appreciate you having me.
That's okay. Thank you for the work you did. I think last week, Don, I met with Herb and Brian over at the Thornton Burgess Middle School. And we walked by, I think, some of the interviews going on in place. Did not stick our head in, but certainly looked like you were busy there. So we appreciate your quickness in getting back to us. Obviously, at this point, we're not going to get into specifics of your report, but the reason I asked you to step in and more for the public, just give us a quick overview. And you talked about there were 4 or 5 scenarios you run through, and obviously you've done this in many communities. And give us a quick overview of them, if you will.
Sure. So on Tuesday, September 23rd, we had the police chief level assessment centers for the 4 candidates selected by the town. And we created exercises, and when we create the exercises, we look for various, first we gotta look at the town and see the size of the town. Is it a working chief? And what I mean by that is a chief that's subject to go out on calls. Size of your town, size of your police department, your chief is subject to go on calls, not every day, but he could be providing backup, could be covering because you're an officer in court. So we kind of look at the town itself. We look at the population, the size of the police department, we look at what type of resources you have, internal resources to the police department, external resources, if you're part of a law enforcement council, where you get your backup from. So we take a look at a lot of different areas, and then we develop exercises that are kind of specific to your town. So we developed 5 exercises. One exercise was a critical incident. The second exercise was a citizen complaint. The third exercise was a staff meeting. The fourth exercise was an employee complaint. And the last exercise, what we call panel questions or rapid fire questions. And those are questions, short questions requiring short answers. Some are tactical questions, some are operational questions, and some are administrative questions. And what we look for as assessors are what we call KSAPs, knowledge, skills, ability, and personal traits, to perform the function of a police chief, specifically the function of a police chief in your town. So on the 23rd, we had our all-day assessment center with the 4 candidates. The assessment center is one of the tools that we use to assess a candidate's abilities to perform their function, as a police chief. So each one of these 5 different exercises has 3 different assessors who assess the candidates. These are all police chiefs who are trained to do assessing. And depending on what the exercise is, will depend on what different KSAPs or what different dimensions we're looking at. Oral communications, adaptability, interpersonal relations, delegation and control, police ethics. So there are several different dimensions per exercise that we look at. Each candidate gets scored approximately 125 times before the day is over. So each one of them gets scored individually by the assessors. And then there's the scoring report, which I produced. The next step is and I would definitely suggest this, and this is normal, and this is what we do and we suggest in all towns, is at this point, you being the appointing body, is to hold your interviews. You hold your interviews with the candidates. So you've already done the resumes reviews. So you have the resume. Now you have your assessment center done and complete and a scoring report. And now you hold your oral interviews. And then you're going to look at all 3 of those phases, those 3 different areas, and come up with what you want your next police chief to be, or what you want your next police chief to be, and the functions and the skill sets that you want them to have. Now, it's equally important, the skills and the talents of the individual is equally as important as the fit. The fit's very important for your town too. It's in your size town, You have to have an individual that interacts with the townspeople, an individual that is not, it's not like this is the chief of police or commissioner of Springfield. This is someone that's going out in the public, more so on calls, can be out in the public doing different functions. It's a different role, working in a large department. And I worked at a department of 1,800 and I worked at a department of 8. And I fully realize being a police chief in your size town is a different role and function. And you as the select members need to take that into consideration as well. So the assessment center was done, completed, scoring reports done. The next phase is for you to do your interviews. You have talented candidates that's given. And I always tell, I mean, any one of the candidates can do the job. It's just at what level can you do the job.
Okay.
So you say any one of the candidates can do the job, so you suggest that we interview all 4? Or?
I think you should take a look at all 4. I think you should bring all 4 in. You know, my opinion would be you only have 4. It's not like you're doing 5 or 6. My suggestion would be you hold a special meeting, nothing else on the agenda but select board interviews. You have questions that are written and given to each of you. Ask the same questions of each candidate. You bring in a candidate, you ask the same questions of each candidate. Any one of you are allowed to ask a follow-up question to the answers they give. You have a scoring rubrics or a weighted scoring table that you score each one of the candidates on your oral questions. And your questions should be germane to your town, the function of the police chief, what you're expecting, what you're looking for. I mean, we already asked the technical questions. We already asked the questions if they can do the job. And all of them can do the job. To what level is a different story. To what capacity is a different story. So you hold your interviews, and then now you take into consideration each candidate's resume, the assessment center scores, and your interviews. And then you look at the whole package, and then you come up with your selection that way.
The interviews have to be conducted in public right now because they're considered finalists. If we do all 4, they're considered finalists.
And you're the select board, so yes.
We're the appointing authority, so they have to be. Okay. You said that you ask everyone the same question, but some of them are from different backgrounds, so would it be inappropriate to ask a different question on one or two?
No, but if you were asking a question of, okay, can you tell us as the board, tell us about yourself, tell us about your background. Well, each one's going to give you a different answer because they have 4 of them have 4 different backgrounds. That's not a problem. You can, now, depending on what the person is, so you say, okay, tell me about you work at such and such a police department. Tell me about your role and function at that police department where you work now.
That's like a follow-up question to the original. Okay.
All right.
Now, depending on what their answers are, you may follow up on an answer that they give. That's acceptable. Because each candidate may give you a different answer, which you're allowed to follow up on those answers, but the basic premise of the initial question should be the same for all candidates, so they're treated all fairly.
Right. Okay. All right, so it sounds like the ball's in our court. We need to pick a date that's good for the 3 of us, 4 of us, if you will, Brent, plus a date that's good for these 4 candidates. As I think Russ and I spoke before, this is a public meeting that is broadcast on Zoom. The 3 candidates that are not being spoken to at that time would be in another room and probably somebody in with them. It is an honor system, but we would expect them to not be watching what the candidate in front of them is giving for an answer. I think that's appropriate. The worst thing that could happen was that we might have 2 people not available for one night. We'd have to schedule 4 interviews over 2 nights and just hold back the publishing of the recording at that point. However, that doesn't mean somebody else couldn't have watched it and tipped an answer. I hate to think the worst of it, Don, but sometimes you do.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So we'd like to keep all 4 in at one night if we can. Is it reasonable? And Brian, you did share that, we're coming down to a little longer than we told Scott we'd be hanging on to him for.
Right.
And we need to wrap it up. It's probably unreasonable to make that this week, short notice for these 4 candidates, although I'm sure Russ, they kind of had a sense as this would be happening next anyhow. I'm sure.
They understand that the oral board is coming, that they're applying for the position of police chief. They're gonna do the best they can to make themselves available. It's actually not a bad time. It's not summertime, school's back in session. I'm sure that they'll be amenable to making themselves available so you can get it done in one night.
Or even, I'd say even a Saturday. Brian, you said Friday nights are bad for you, right?
Yes, Friday evenings, the next,
What's the other evening that was bad for you? Besides Monday?
Wednesday, the 8th.
No, I'm more even thinking this week, even if we advertised, do you think it's unreasonable for the 2nd?
We got to post.
Right, when we have enough time, if we post tomorrow, we have enough time.
No.
Depends what time.
Monday, Tuesday, Monday, Wednesday. Yeah, we could post for,
If it's in the evening, we can post.
We could post for, and like you said, Eric, 4 would be the absolute earliest typically?
Yes.
4:30 be better?
4:30 would be better, but I can do 4. It would just be kind of like this.
Okay, so, okay.
I'll be zipping in.
This is Thursday you're talking?
I'm talking Thursday at 4. I mean, I'm free. I mean, we don't want to keep dragging this out.
Got a 2, 4:30 would be good.
30?
On the 2nd. We're talking the 2nd.
No, second, yeah.
4:30?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, why don't we tentatively say that, and Russ, you agree, we got to keep it moving, so we can't be dragging out here. Let's start for this Thursday, 4:30 if possible. Set them up for half-hour sessions.
okay.
Is it appropriate at that point that you think, Russ, that the board would make their decision that night?
So there's two options. You could, I've seen boards make it, after the meeting's over, boards go into executive session and then they come out and they make a decision. I've seen boards that say, you know what, we'll put a pin in it tonight and we'll meet at our next meeting, or we'll make another special meeting and we'll come in and just have a vote. It's really about you guys. It's the board's decision on that one. It's that, Mr. Chairman, we've done it, it's been done so many different ways, so you can't.
Yeah, no, I only question, you mentioned going to executive session. What would be the rationale for an executive
No,
session?
strike that. You're not going to executive session.
Okay.
Because it's a public meeting, just make it a decision. You're not
Okay.
having a meeting. So you could put a pin in it and meet at another date. If you're gonna do that, you should set your date up now. That just requires the board, or you can make a decision afterwards.
You know what? Can we change it to 5?
Okay, late tea time? Okay, fine, yeah, 5.
5.
Right, 5, even better for you.
Just in
Right.
case I get
Okay.
tied up at
That's fine. I would say that,
the 19th hole.
you know, we could, right now, plan on making a decision that night. We also would have the option to put a pin in it and touch on the 6th as well, because we're already meeting on the following Monday.
Just add it as an agenda.
So, you know, either the agenda we publish on the 2nd says make a decision, or we pass that and we put it on the agenda for Monday as well. Police chief hiring, and then if it's already happened on the 2nd,
Yeah, we can
there's no
defer.
action on the
Yeah,
6th.
Yeah,
Right.
we can defer to 2nd.
Right.
We can defer.
And it's only deferring one day, basically, so we're not hanging them out to dry. That sound reasonable, Russ?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, so is the board in favor of therefore having the, who would reach out to these 4 candidates, Russ? Is that something you would do or Brian? Brian would, okay.
Yep.
The town administrator will reach out to the 4 candidates, check their availability for the 2nd, starting at 5 o'clock, no particular order. Obviously, he can make, you know, if one candidate says, look, I can't be there till 6, then they can be, you know, we're not unreasonable. You know, put them in order, they work out in half-hour segments. You don't want to be unreasonable?
We're not unreasonable?
Not in public.
Oh, yes.
I think in fairness to the other candidates, though, they really should be all 4 at the same time, because.
That's a good
like you said-
point. That's a good
Like you
point.
said, if one of them's an hour late and they're on Zoom and they're watching this right now, they're gonna be on Zoom watching the questions. They could prepare in a half hour for, you know, I'm not saying that.
No, you
should
bring
do
up a
it
good
well, but
point, Eric.
I think they all should be here at the same time.
And
Right.
Mr. Chairman, you have all 4 candidates report to the meeting area and meet someone at the start time. They're going to be sequestered, if you will. And the TA is going to tell them, kindly leave your cell phones in the car and any electronics. And he's going to tell them there's going to be the roll interview. It'll be approximately a half an hour a piece. And they're going to be put in a room. They'll have no access to the interviews. And then they'll be brought in one at a time. And when it's done, they'll be dismissed. And then it's done.
All right, let me ask the board this, and this is just, I don't want to be talking about this for the next 3 days. If a candidate comes back to Brian and says, look, I can't be there on Thursday. I've got something already scheduled, and are we rescheduling everybody, or what are we doing? We can't be dragging this out for weeks. Russ, you were just about to say something. It's like, I'm fine to say if a candidate says, look, I can't be there at 6, fine, we'll start them all at 6. That's not an unreasonable thing. But we're not starting everybody at 8 o'clock for crying out loud. But if one person can't make it Thursday, are we basically saying, fine, everybody report next Monday, or we're making it Monday?
That's the only.
It'd be best if you can get them all there at one time, instead of, that way everyone's treated the same, on the same day.
I agree, that's why I'm saying, if one can't make it Thursday for, I'm taking my wife to the hospital. Okay, pretty good reason. We should then say nobody's coming Thursday and we're picking a different day. That's what I'm saying.
If you can do that, Mr. Chairman, that would be the best thing to do.
But if they're saying, I'm gonna watch my son play soccer, well, then I guess you're not really serious about applying for this job.
All your candidates are there, they'll be interested. They're not gonna, unless it's a drop dead thing where, to your point, you're bringing your wife to a doctor's appointment or a child to a doctor's appointment, they'll be there.
Okay, appreciate that. All right, so that's where we're going.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Yes,
Good.
agreed.
All right. Russ, great job.
Thank you.
Russ, could you give us the address of the chiefs so we can send them a thank you for their participation?
I absolutely will. I'll send it to the TA.
Yeah.
TA.
Great.
Thank you.
And we won't thank you, we'll just send you.
No, there's extra cookies here. We're sending those.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
You
you.
can put us down in your references. Great job.
Thank you very much. Take care now.
All right. Okay. And now, the warrant. So several things happening with the warrant, not the least is look,
Hang on a sec. I think is the audio not working? So
No, it is.
Oh, it is, I'm sorry.
okay. So,
Sorry.
well, there's somebody commented there, I'm not sure.
Audio was on here.
Okay.
I just.
So due to personnel changes, et cetera, both at our level and at the state, I think, as well, we may not have the free cash number as quickly as we have seen in other years. Don and I remember seeing sometimes this number, gosh, in August, and having a sense of it. With the accountant change, with the state change of the person that works with it as well, with sometimes the complexity of the numbers that have to be worked, with reimbursements from the state coming in late, which can still be counted against obligations, which is important to have that done there. And the fact that we need to give the advisory committee a good number that they can work with to provide recommendations for the warrant articles for appropriations. I'm wondering if the board would be amenable to making the date of the special town meeting October 3rd.
November.
It's November 3rd, excuse me. And I'm not even saying, if you want to say, Brian, I had this conversation, 3rd or 10th, we could. Brian's feeling decent about the 3rd.
Yeah.
You feel a lot more rock solid about the 10th, but that would be putting a bit of onus on the assessors then for the next
They gotta
part.
get to the tax rate.
They got to get to the tax rate, exactly. And they have a bit of a change in their department as well. New person, doing that work, so. So if we do the 3rd, Brian has checked with the AV company, they're available that day.
Yep,
We're pretty sure the school's available.
I'll check. Yep, it's available.
Okay, great, thank you, Brian.
MTH.
Check, you want to check me, yeah, nice, nice. So it doesn't really Well, we did make a motion to set the special town meeting at that date. That's the only publishing we've done of it, basically.
Right.
Yeah. So we would actually just make a motion to change the date of the 2025 special town meeting to November 3rd at 6:30 at 85 Wilbraham Road at the TWB/NTH.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so, and Brian is going to be continuing to work with everybody involved and see if we can get those numbers back. And we did talk to Doug as well, Doug Boyd, and he felt that that was the way to go. And, you know, he would work with this committee on setting up the schedule for the hearing, typically the Monday before. And obviously, they would feel much better having numbers to work with than just guessing, if you will. All right, so a special town meeting warrant is in pretty good shape, although Brian did get a request from the superintendent about adding a placeholder for a potential warrant article for the school district, which, and Brian, correct me if I'm wrong, is probably related to the bleachers?
No.
It's not, it's gonna be the regional agreement?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought they were nowhere close on the regional agreement. And I mean, my conversation with Mike Swindow was that they didn't set it in stone, but at the point in August, they did not see a need for a fall town meeting. They did not say no, but they saw no need for a fall town meeting at that point. And probably Mark echoed the same thing. They didn't make a negative vote,
Right.
but they made no positive vote.
Right.
Yeah,
But that may be resolved at that October 9th meeting.
and it could be.
It could
So-
be.
So is the board willing to just put a
I know,
placeholder and we could take no action on it?
Yeah, excuse me. for
I'm sorry.
interrupting. But I think the superintendent also is of the mind that it should be put on to keep the process going somehow, you know, and see how we vote on it. I don't know what their amendment's gonna be, but it's all the amendments that we talked about. I don't know what they're gonna finally do with what their final thing is gonna be on.
There's a lot on that thing, there's a lot in that.
Yeah.
All right. So is the board willing to vote to open the warrant, insert a placeholder for a language to be given to us from the Hampden Wilbraham School Committee for a warrant article, and then close the warrant again?
Yeah, so moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
That went easier than I thought.
Did you ask, you understand my question about that?
About the procedure?
Yeah, the procedure says that we shall put it on the, if they present an amendment to the regional agreement, it shall be on the annual town meeting. Then it says, or special town meeting for the purpose. So does the purpose mean just for the amendment, or does it mean you're having a special town meeting for a purpose, so you can put it on there?
Yeah, I always interpreted that special town meeting was for that purpose, like we've had a couple special town meetings just for like voting debt for a school thing or something, yeah. That the special town meeting was called for that purpose. Yeah.
Let's say you,
I believe it is very vague and ambiguous.
In a big leeway?
I read it as a special town meeting called for the purpose of the article. But I also think special town meetings could have multiple purposes, so.
For interpretation.
Is it moot?
So we're gonna have special town meeting within the special town meeting.
oh, yeah, here we
Yeah,
go.
oh, yeah. That'll make Rick happy. He'll earn twice the money.
I think if you voluntarily place it on the warrant, I don't think it's an issue.
Okay.
I think it relates back
All right,
to the
all right,
board
okay,
shall.
all
But
right.
can I just ask a question?
Yeah.
Looking at the calendar here, if we're gonna do November 3rd, then we're signing the warrants. Are we still signing the warrants October 6th? Are we gonna do it the 14th? You just wanna push it back?
Well, I think we have to wait for, as Don said, the 9th is going to provide some clarity here.
That's what I was
So I
wondering,
think the
because
14th is,
So
we can't sign it on we can't close it, sign it, and post it on the 6th if something's gonna happen on the 9th.
Right,
But if we
right.
push it back a week, we'll have the meeting on the 9th, we'll have more clarity
on the for the
on the
14th.
14th. So we want to plan on signing on the, signing and posting after the 14th?
yes,
Yeah,
Okay.
which now actually
Or
helps us
13th.
out because the extra week helps us out.
That's Wednesday.
third.
14th.
Oh,
14th,
14th.
yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right, job description of the con agent.
So I drafted up a,
John, thank you again. Ted, you go back, have a great second trip.
so there's a draft conservation agent job description that I created. There was one for a shared conservation agent that I found in the files between Hampden and Granby, I believe. So I took that and modified that to make it ours, in our format. I sent this over to Bonnie at Conservation. She provided some feedback. The job description is a little bit more expansive than what I think the Conservation Commission does now. But I think it's something that if they could incorporate or expand what they do when they have the resources, I think that would be good. And what I'm referring to is a lot of what they do right now is wetlands protection. But there's also a role for conservation commissions for open space protection, open space management. The law allows conservation commissions to oversee conservation restrictions on property. So I think that would be, once they have the resources and somebody on staff, to expand into that. And there was also talk about the resources are available for that person to help out with some of the stormwater stuff that the town is required to do. So those are in here now. So I think that would be a good place for them to expand if they have the resources. I talked to Bonnie about the budget and what they currently have and what that would translate into in terms of hours. Again, that depends on the pay and our pay scale. I had recommended to the board that this be a grade 4 position. And there's obviously certain, so it'd be grade 4, step 1 is what it would be offered at. And that would translate to what they would have in their budget would be enough for a 15-hour-a-week position based on that pay rate.
Good. What was it, grade 4, step 1?
Yeah.
Okay, so are we authorizing Brian to publish this? Or add it to basically the job description book?
Yeah, so it would be approval of the job description, and then just, if you're okay with putting out the job advertisement. We really should put out the job advertisement. I know there's a couple people who might be interested in it, but I think we should put out the posting as well.
Okay, so moved.
Second.
Aye, no, second.
Aye. Stole your thunder, Eric, sorry.
It's okay.
While we're on the Conservation Commission budget thing, okay, they have an issue up on South Road. Here, engineer, wetland engineer, and they're proposing paying for it, but I don't know what they could possibly pay it out of. Could they pay it out of the revolving account? I don't think so, because it says that's for fees collected for a specific purpose.
Is this on private property or public property?
It's on private property.
I don't think we can, typically can't spend public funds on private property.
I agree.
So there was a development, and they had to set aside some land for conservation.
And they brought it up in our meeting with them as well.
Right.
We said we didn't think it was possible.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think that's an appropriate use of public funds.
Okay. So can you talk to them about that?
Yes.
All right, what else we got, chief?
Keep talking. Come on, John, keep talking.
Okay.
Seasonal decor discussion.
Seasonal decor discussion. What's that about?
So decor. So this came up in the context of two things.
All right, thank you.
And
As you know, Paul,
about it.
thank you. Paul Picnelli and Paul Marcelini came to see us about the potential for having a holiday display in town. Well, that was very nice. However, the board expressed some concerns about having it at the intersection because as we know, people are concerned about maybe the intersection on its own is confusing, and the potential distraction of having a nice lighted display there might not help. So I did speak to Mr. Marcelina and said, hey, what if we have that in front of, the new town hall? We expect quite a bit of traffic there with everything moving there, obviously quite a bit with these sports programs going on at that time as well, Constable Library. And not busy enough, but again, not the intersection busy that we're concerned about. He said, son of a gun, we were thinking the same thing. So there you go. So they're fine with that. He even mentioned possibly even reaching out to the country club and see if they would put some type of scenery up across the street and maybe make it, gosh, almost like Bright Nights there, Don.
Well, tickets.
Go behind the NTH.
Do something on Raymond Drive would be really nice, Eric, thank you. Yeah, right. We get people from Greenleaf will be in front of us going, hey, stealing our thunder. So we'd like to proceed with that. He actually talked about lighting the gazebo as well. However, we do know that the garden club, and I think even Parks and Rec has been talked about doing things there as well. So I think if we get all these players together, you did talk about actually providing the town with a new Christmas tree there. So we don't have to transplant the deer tree from out front. So I think this is, and certainly it's only, September, so even though Rockies and most stores have been selling Christmas stuff for a while, we still have some time before we have to get it together. So I think it's good. They're on the same plan we are. Stay away from the danger. It's an excellent thing to do. If we flesh it out, I don't know if they're gonna put lights on the building or just do something at the entrance. I think they're really just talking things at the entrance along the street at this point.
Yeah.
So we're gonna keep in conversation and see go from there. Yeah.
All right.
All right, that's what I have. Meeting schedule going forward. I know we had a request for a meeting on the 7th. Park and Rec wanted to know if we wanted to attend their meeting, and, I checked the calendar, they don't even have a meeting schedule on the 7th.
I'll be unavailable.
Thank you, Tiger. So, but we do have a meeting on the 6th, and I would encourage Brian to reach out to them and say, hey, look, we got, I think at this point, a pretty open agenda, and we're happy to give you as much time, and we love talking to other boards. I did mention to Brian, and Don, you recall this, we talked about bringing other boards in on a rotating basis. There's probably a couple others we need to bring in and just chat with. I was thinking of talking to Brian, Historical Commission, see where they stand, memberships, things like that. Board of Appeals. I thought our conversation with Concom was good. It would have been nice if we had more members there.
Yeah.
But I think, so we're all on the same page going forward. We go into December, and Don and I have had this State of the Union thing in December for a number of years. That goes back to my father's time. I did get feedback that could it be January going forward? And I think that's not a bad idea.
They'd have more, they'd have 6 months.
And also more of a sense of what next year really, which has always been the purpose, so. Other than that, we did have a meeting with the Senior Center Building Committee this morning. I was not able to attend, but Brian did attend, and Brian did report. It went well. He read them in on what we're planning for the HVAC and the roof article, and I believe he said they supported it, and it will be there for support at the fall town meeting. October, November, December, whatever it is.
Or next fall.
Yep, or next, thank you, Don. Other than that, nothing else to report. Eric?
Nothing to report on that.
How about the Fiber Cable Committee?
Fiber Cable Committee, well, nothing really overly new with that, because I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens with this charter announcement.
Okay.
Because we're potentially on revitalizing this, and charter's gonna say, hey, we're gonna run fiber throughout the whole town. It's kind of a moot point to bring everybody and get hopes up just yet. So I was gonna wait till their public announcement. I think it's the 7th of October.
Is it
right
really?
to the public.
Oh, wow.
At the Scantic Valley YMCA, there's some kind of
Oh,
press
that's right,
release.
we saw that thing, yeah.
So they're going to kind of announce that they're investing 50
Yeah, 11 a.m.
local towns, so hopefully we'll hear more from that.
Oh, is that the one with, is that your comment about the cider donuts?
Yes.
Well, gosh, maybe it's certainly a good reason to go. Were you thinking of going anyhow, Brian, or
I
no?
was planning on going.
What time is it?
I was planning on going. 11.
Okay. All right, as it gets close, well, remind us on Monday night, next meeting, please.
Okay.
Don?
I got nothing to report.
Town administrator.
A lot of time working on getting Thornton Burgess ready, NTH. That's taking up a lot of time. Other things not Thornton Burgess related. Mark's working with the engineers on the bid docs for the South Road Bridge, so that can go out to bid. We'll likely be having a contract presented to the board from VHB to do the construction administration when that happens. We have a proposal for them now. Annual stormwater report was submitted today. It was due today, so that was submitted by Ty and Bond. I
What was
just,
that? Excuse me?
what's up?
What was that?
The annual stormwater
Oh,
report.
yeah, okay.
Submitted to
Yeah,
EPA.
yeah.
Yep. We had our internal meeting about septic system and wells at TWB. We need to reach out to Mass DEP to set up that meeting, to talk about their concerns with that.
Did they, well, hooking up the,
Yes,
okay.
yep. Here, good.
They can do it for the boiler alone? What was the plan?
Their answer was, yes, they could do it. But they had some concerns about that. But we could definitely disconnect it
Okay,
or have it available for irrigation.
okay.
So we can satisfy Mass DEP's concern about the well and its proximity to the septic. Stormwater report, VHB. I received hopefully what is the final draft of the cable agreement, which keeps dragging on and on and on. I didn't get a chance to look at it, but I received that from our cable council today, so hopefully we can wrap that up in the next, goodness gracious, 3 months or something. That's way beyond due, so that's about it.
Lauren, anything?
I have nothing.
No, you poll hearings?
Thank you, sure, let's think something else.
Better say it fast.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Really? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, have a good week.